I appreciate it. Good to be with y'all tonight. We're super excited. I mean, this is what it's all about. This is what we all work toward every single year. This is one of our major goals to try to win our league and win the division. And so I don't know what we called our division. We won half the league. So whatever we're calling it this year. We're just excited to be in Charlotte, have a chance to compete for the overall championship, and it's been a great year. Just really proud of our team to be at this point. I mean, this has been one of a kind. I hope I can coach for a long time still, but I doubt I'll ever be a part of another year like 2020. Just unbelievable what these teams have had to deal with, all these players. So just proud of our team, our staff, everybody involved in our whole organization and in working to get to this point, but especially our players and also really, excited for Notre Dame and congratulations to Coach Kelly and his staff and their entire team. What a magical year they've had. I mean, just a great football team, a complete team in every sense of the word. And, they've been fun to watch. Obviously, we had a great game with them earlier in the year, and they made a few more plays than we did. And, I think the two best teams have earned the opportunity to go to Charlotte and play for the overall championship. And so it's going to be exciting. Really looking forward to it. And, again, just on behalf of our president and Dan Radakovich, our AD, it's an honor to be able to, bring our team up there and compete in what I know is going to be an incredible college football game for everybody to see.
All right. Thanks, Coach. Let's first go to David Hale with ESPN. David, go ahead.
Hey, Dabo, I'm going through the last game against Notre Dame. How did Trevor handle that? What kind of emotions did you see him go through? And what was the value, you think, of having him there on the sideline for you guys, even though he was not able to actually get on the field and play?
Just his presence, I thought he was great for DJ. I thought he was just a calming influence on the sideline for DJ and just an encouraging, voice. And, he's an inspirational guy. And, so it was great to have him there. And also just, he's a very, very smart guy. He sees the game, from a quarterback perspective. But also I wanted him to get the experience. I know he won't be here when we go back to Notre Dame, and I guess in 22 we go back up there maybe. And I wanted him to have the opportunity to make that trip with us. So he was about a day or so away from being able to play, but I was glad he was able to come.
Okay, next let's go to David Hood. David, go ahead.
Hey, Coach, what was the main message to your team last week? It's kind of unusual to have that week off in between, the end of the regular season, the ACC championship game. What was your message to the team, and what was the one or two key things that you wanted to concentrate on during the time off?
This is the first time, we did the previous, I think seven times we've been in the championship game that we've never had an open date. So that's just how we treated it. We just treated it like an open date. And, we've been going, this is our 20th week coming up. We've been going 20 weeks of football. That's a long time. And, it's been managing a lot. These guys have been through a lot. So the biggest thing was, we're going to treat it like an open date. We had finals going on as well. So we had to really navigate around that. We practiced Monday, Wednesday, Thursday. We had meetings on Tuesday. So the objective was to get a good head start, get a good foundation to our plan. for Notre Dame, and also get healthy, get some rest. Again, been going 20 weeks. Certainly don't want to overdo it. You're trying to you don't want to peak too soon and those things. But we had a bunch of tests on Friday, and then they had yesterday off, and then we're back in here today. So we've had testing today, dinner, and then we just got meetings this evening, and then we'll start a normal game week tomorrow. Obviously, it's like coming off of an open date. You're a lot further along than you would be, if you just played a game yesterday. So it was a great week. Good focus. The guys are excited and looking forward to a great matchup.
All right, next let's go to Pete Sampson with The Athletic.
Coach, I was wondering if you could look back when you found out that Notre Dame was a full member this year, what reaction you had to that, and then now that it's about 6 months removed from that, how this experiment went with having Notre Dame as a full member of the league.
Yeah, well, I mean, they've been a full member in every sport but football. So that's been kind of the norm for the last few years. And then they've been playing, I guess, around 5 games a year in our league. So they've been a pretty steady out of conference opponent, if you will. But, I think it was great. Certainly it was a unique year, and everybody going conference only and canceling games and things like that. So I think Notre Dame certainly brings a lot to the table from a football standpoint. They're a great program. They're a great brand, awesome tradition. I have a lot of respect for Notre Dame. And so, the powers that be got together. Notre Dame, all of a sudden their schedule's gone. They needed games. And our league, wanted them to join the league and for a year at least. And that's what they came up with. So, I think it's been good. It's exciting. I think we had one of the most watched games maybe in a long time this season, especially in the first game. And I'll be shocked if this one's not even better. So it's been good for college football. It's been good for our league, and hopefully it's been good for Notre Dame. Who knows what they'll do going forward, but it's been a good year.
Okay, next let's go to Trevor Grove, CU Tigers.
Hey, Coach. How did Jake Venable's surgery go the other day? And do you still think he probably will not play this Saturday? And also, how did Justin Ross's visit with his doctor go?
Yeah, Jake's definitely going to be out. He broke a bone, kind of long bone right here, and he had a plate put in, and I think he had 9 screws in there. So he's pretty sore. He'll come back stronger than ever, but he's definitely going to be out. And but it was a great trip for Justin. We're still waiting on a couple of bits of information from the doctor up there, and but it was a very positive trip. There's basically where he is right now. There's kind of I guess 2 big boxes that have to be checked for him for them to kind of say, all right, go get it. And but I think they were very pleased with what they saw. And the first big box is tests that they put him through. I want to say kinematic testing, and so basically measuring his movements before surgery and now post surgery. They were very pleased with the healing of the area. It's still not quite 100%, but it's I think ahead of what they could have expected. So I think just that first thing, he's in the first box of the kinematic test. I think he's in a pretty good place, and then I think they just want to see 100% healing, when he goes back. But it was very positive, and very thankful for that. So he's in good spirits, and hopefully, just continue to move forward in a positive way. And I tell you, I just can't say enough about Dr. Okonkwo. job he's done. He's an amazing doctor, and you know, Justin's got a lot of confidence in him, and he's got a lot of confidence in himself. And again, if y'all could see Justin every day at practice, it's unbelievable. I mean, he does everything except get tackled. He looks great in practice, and you know, doing all the things that they allow him to do. He's in full pads, and you know, just again, he doesn't get hit or anything like that, and he's not in competitive situations. He does all the routes and drill work and those type of things, and he looks great. But you know, his injury is one that you know, they're going to be very cautious with, and you know, hopefully, again, he'll keep moving in a very positive direction, and he'll get a full release somewhere in the near future.
All right, next let's go to Eric Hansen with South Bend Tribune.
Hi, Coach. Having faced Notre Dame already this year, how would you measure their growth from the team that you faced in 2018, the growth in their program? And then the second part is, win or lose this weekend, do you feel like these are two of the best 4 teams in the country and playoff worthy?
The growth in their team, they were a great team in 18. I mean, a great team. And, you know, if you go back and look at that game, we made just a few explosives that kind of separated it. And then once we kind of got a lead, it was, you know, our defense kind of won the day there. You know, Book was I guess a couple years younger, and all these big monster offensive linemen they got that are all like graduates now, they were a couple years younger. So we were kind of the reverse. We had all those vets in the D line, and they were a little younger. And this year it's kind of the opposite. We don't have any seniors on the D line, and they got a bunch of graduates. I mean, they've done a great job, but they're similar. I mean, they're a great team. They were a great team then. That's why they were in the playoff. And again, that was a game that 3 or 4 plays, 3 or 4 explosives, you know, where we made some critical plays, you know, especially right before the half, kind of got the game a little bit out of reach. But I mean, they're the same. I mean, they're really good on offense. They're really good on defense. And then, you know, this year, just a very veteran team, complete team, really good in special teams. Book's playing like a senior. He's incredibly savvy. I think the biggest thing that's improved from this year is their confidence in their passing game. You know, from the beginning of the year to now, you know, their ability to throw the football, you know, has made them even more dangerous because they've been able to run the ball well, and then defensively they can get pressure with that front. You know, their backers are really good. They've got two of the best players that you're going to see in college football. So just a complete team. And as far as I think you said, yeah, I mean, absolutely. These are, I mean, there's no question in my mind. These are two of the best teams in the country.
All right, next let's go to David Teal. David, go ahead.
Dabo, is it important for your offense to be more balanced and less one-dimensional than it was in South Bend?
Well, I mean, I just think we need to be more efficient. I don't know about balanced. I think efficient is probably a better word. You know, we rushed for 1 yard to their 5.1. So we've got to do a better job of, you know, and again, we did a decent job after that first long touchdown run, first play of the game. But they were 5.1 and we were 1.0. So, you know, we need to be more efficient than that as far as balanced and those type of things. I think, you know, you do what you do best and what gives you the best chance to win, and you know, what defenses dictate and all that type of stuff. But we got to take care of the football. That's first and foremost. We lost the margin. We had 3 turnovers to their 1, and they got 10 points off of turnovers, and we got 0. So that's where it starts, and we need to be more efficient. And if we can be more efficient, then we'll be better on third down. You know, we were really poor on third down. Like we were 4 of 15, they were 10 of 19. So, that it's amazing that we even had a chance to win the game, to be honest with you, with the turnovers and how poor we were on third down and how inefficient we were. So, our guys fought hard but those are things that we're going to have to clean up. We were poor in field position. We started out, we had a couple really, first play of the game, they score. Our first play of offense, we're on the 6-yard line. So there's just a lot of things that we got to do better to have a chance to beat a great team like Notre Dame.
Okay, next let's go to Patrick Engel. Patrick.
Hey, Dabo, Patrick Engel with Blue and Gold Illustrated here. In facing the 2018 Notre Dame defense and prepping for them and in prepping for this year's Notre Dame unit, what do you notice that they do similar or, I guess, different in both being effective units that keep opponents off the scoreboard, even if it might be slightly different MOs in doing so?
Yeah, very similar. They're very similar. And I would say if you ask them the question on us, probably the biggest difference is we've had to, we were a very veteran group up front. We've had to be a little more creative as far as how we manufacture pressure and things like that. We've had to be a little more package oriented than maybe we were in 18 with that, veteran defense. But very similar. They're built up front. They're incredibly well coached. This is as well coached a team as you're going to see. They don't make a lot of mistakes. They tackle well. We just made some big plays on them in some one-on-one situations, and they'll still present those things. They're gonna play man coverage. They're gonna mix it up, with their 2 safety structure, and they've got some dynamic guys, just like they did in 18. So I think it's more similar than anything. I think the biggest thing is they're really, really good. Probably better up front than they were that year.
All right, next let's go to Josh Needleman. Josh, go ahead.
Hey, Dabo, Josh from the Post and Courier. When do you expect to have do you have a timetable for when you'll have a definitive availability for Ross, just in terms of if he'll play again? And in your mind, what's the key positional matchup for this game?
Yeah, I don't have any availability for Ross. I do believe Ross will play again. He's not going to play this year. That's never been any consideration. I know some people have speculated on that, but that's never been part of the equation. Our goal was to get him back for spring practice. If he came back, he still could, if they clear him, he could go pro. But our goal, if he came back here, was to get him out there for spring ball and be cleared. And kind of the Mike Williams plan. Mike went through spring. We didn't let him get tackled or things like that, and then he came back and had a great year. So that's our goal. That's our plan for him if he comes back. But he's still got to make that decision. But I am incredibly encouraged and hopeful based on where he is right now. What was your second question?
Yeah, just what do you think will be the key positional in this game?
What positional matchup?
The key matchup.
Positional matchup. Well, up front, trenches. We got our butts kicked in the first game. It's just that simple.
All right, next let's go to Phil Kornbluth. Phil, go ahead.
Thank you. Hey, Dabo, with the defensive players you have back for this game that were not there with you in South Bend.
Can you speak up, Phil?
I'm sorry.
I can't hear you.
Yeah, with the defensive players that you have back, that were not with you in South Bend, what would be your expectations for your defensive performance this time around?
Hope we play better. Hope we fit the run better. Hope we don't let them run the stretch for 65 yards on the first play. Hopefully we contain the quarterback better. That's going to be easier said than done. Ian Book had a field day against us. He extended plays. He made a lot of off-schedule plays. They're one of the best. They're one of the best scramble teams out there, and you got to give them credit for that because that's coached. You know, it's not like they're just out there playing street ball. These guys, you know, they coach the scramble drill, and they know what they're doing. They're on the same page. There's a lot of chemistry. Ian does an awesome job of managing the pocket and stepping up when he needs to and slipping out and again extending plays and then running. So, you know, hopefully we can do a better job of not giving up some of the big plays. You know, I mean, we got a touchdown lead with a minute something to go. They got to go about 80 something yards, and we give up almost all that on one play. And on a young safety in the game that you know, hopefully we'll learn from that. So that's where it starts. I mean, we got to do a better job, like I said, in the trenches. We got to do a much better job of containing this quarterback. He's a great player. He's going to make plays, but we've got to do a better job than we did in the first game. We got to fit the run better. We missed some tackles, and then we got to make some of the competitive plays because they're going to push the ball down the field. That's just what they do. I mean, the ball's going downfield, and you know, you can't sit back and play a bunch of zone coverage on these guys. They're going to run the ball right at you. You're going to have some one-on-one matchups, and we've got to do a better job of winning some of those plays.
Next, let's go to Andrea Adelson. Andrea, go ahead.
Dabo, for the second time in a week, the SEC commissioner came out and made comments about the ACC letting Notre Dame and Clemson out of not playing a game before the ACC championship game, trying to maybe leave some doubt about whether the ACC should get two teams into the playoff. But I'm just wondering from your perspective, how frustrating it is to hear that line of quote attack when you all have done everything you've needed to do to get in this situation you're in right now.
Yeah, I mean, you know, if the ACC was trying to really protect Clemson and Notre Dame, why would we even play the game this week? I mean, if 6 wins can get you in the playoffs, shouldn't 9 get you there? Shouldn't 10 get you there? I mean, so if the ACC was really trying to protect Clemson and Notre Dame, we wouldn't even play this game. And that's not what we're about. We want to crown a worthy champion. It's going to be an awesome game. You know, it's going to be awesome. I would have loved to have played this past weekend. I had no problem with that. I didn't make that decision. I had no problem. We wanted to play when we were down in Tallahassee. We were about to get on a bus and go play. So I have, you know, things happen just like it has all over the place. You know, things you don't control. All you can do is control whatever goes on. But you know, they made this decision, and you know, we've played 10 games. Notre Dame's played 10 games. We're excited to go play a championship, crown a worthy champion of this league, and go from there. So I think if the league was trying to, you know, protect that, you wouldn't even play the game, to be honest with you. But that's not what Notre Dame wants. That's not what we want. We want to go play the game, and you know, so. There you go.
All right, next, let's go to David Hood. Go ahead, David.
Hey, sorry, it took me a second to get unmuted there, but just checking on the James Skalski after missing Virginia Tech. Sorry if anybody's already asked it, but you expect him to be back healthy this week?
Hope so. Yeah, we'll he had a good week. See where he is tomorrow.
Okay, let's go to David Hale. David, go ahead.
Hey, Dabo, you talked a little bit the other day about Travis's season, and I was curious the same thing about Trevor. How do you feel like he has benefited from being out on the field this year? I know obviously he was one of the leaders in the We Want to Play movement. I mean, he definitely competitively wanted to be out there, but how do you think he's maybe a better person, player, leader this year? Is there anything that you've sort of seen from him this year that you'd said, like, I might not have seen that from Trevor last year?
Absolutely. I mean, he's always been confident, but just his confidence is at an all-time high. His knowledge is the best it's ever been. His complete command of what he's doing, his leadership for the entire team is different than it was as a freshman and as a sophomore. I mean, he is just really asserted himself as a great leader and a great communicator for the entire team. And so I'm just really proud of him. I mean, he's in a great spot physically. He's stronger than he's ever been. And in the game is really slowed down for him. I mean, it's never really been that fast for him. Even as a freshman, he obviously was amazing, but he just really understands everything that's going on within the offense, what our problems are, and really understands what the defense is trying to do and where his best chance to be successful is each play. So just really proud of him. He's done a great job of taking care of the ball. He's done a nice job of managing the pocket, and he's really not taking any dumb sacks. I think he's had one, and I think that was in the first game. So I think he's just done a really nice job of leading our team, and it's been fun for him. It's been fun to watch him. I think he's really been intentional with every practice, every game, every meeting, every bus trip. I just think he's really, really enjoyed, this season, even though as different as it's been, he's really tried to just stay in the moment, and really proud of him.
All right, next, let's go to Lawton Swan.
Hey, Coach, it may be 6-1, half dozen the other to a degree, but back in 2011, you guys had defeated Virginia Tech before facing them in the ACC championship. How does that compare to losing to Notre Dame versus facing them again in a rematch and, being on the opposite end of the stick, so to speak?
I mean, it doesn't matter. You got to play. It's a new game. Whether you won the last one or lost the last one, you don't get to carry over any touchdowns or sacks or good plays or mistakes. You got to go. It's a new game. It's two great teams, and it's the same things are going to decide the game. And we've got to do a better job if we want to have a chance to come out on top this time.
All right, we've got time. We've got time for one last question from Josh Needleman. Josh, go ahead.
Hey, Dabo, do we know when Justin Ross's next doctor appointment will be?
I do not. I'm sure it'll be sometime after the first of the year.
All right, Coach Swinney, we really appreciate you taking the time tonight, and best of luck this week, and we will do it all again on Friday. Thank you very much.
All right. See y'all.
Thank you, Coach.
Thank you.
Thank you.